Hey everybody, it's July's Technique of the Month, and since we're doing a song in the key of C, I thought we should spend some time reviewing our chords that are found in the key of C. I don't know about you, but I don't tend to play a lot in C. It's this high box over here, and even though I have the room, I just don't tend to use it. So as a result, a lot of people are less familiar with the diatonic chords in C. The diatonic chords just mean that they're the chords that start on each note of the scale. So C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and I left out B diminished because it's hardly ever used, and if it is used, it's usually in the context of a G7, so I just left it out. Now the other chord that we're going to use that's pretty common, if you have a song that wants to get to the 5 chord, in this case G, it's very common to do what's called the 5 of 5. So you temporarily think about being in the key of G, and what would the 5 chord be in that key? So the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a D. So a lot of times to get there, you would play what's called the 5 of 5. So let's get to it. That's just a long, short rhythm. Now it looks like I forgot, on the top I went up to a high E. In general, I like to play my arpeggios the full range that I can possibly do it. So let's try that again. I'll be right-handed this time. If you have even more range, you can add that as well. Here's D minor. And here's F. You'll want to find in advance your low F. And G. A minor. And D, which is the 5 of 5. And that's it for page 1. Let's flip it over. Page 2 is just a different rhythm. So now we're in 3/4. And as you're playing through these, make sure that you get just a little closer to the bridge as you come to the top. So low C, or middle C here, I'm about 2.5 finger widths away from the Delrin. The sweet spot for the higher notes is a little closer. Oh, and it's even eighth notes now. Next one I'll do left-handed for any lefties watching. Find your low F. And now E minor. F major. Now if you don't have that high F, just leave it out. Oops. Okay, now G major, our 5 chord. And I changed it to 5/8 because I wanted to have an even number of notes in the measure without some weird tie at the end. And A minor. Next are 5 of 5. And that's all for page 2. Let me do a quick slow-mo of that first one again so you can see how I adjust my proximity to the bridge to get that sweet spot. So that is a little closer, and that's the closest one. That's how you get a nice pop out of it. Let's see if I can play out of the sweet spot. Now in, you get more of the true tone when you do it that way. So let's look at page 3. Here we go. So when we work on our chords and arpeggios, we usually go from the bottom up and back. So just to mix things up and to trick your brain, we're going to start at the top and go down. So here we go. D minor. Now I added the low F. If you have your sub bass bridge over here, that would be super easy. I'm going to do the left-handed version because that way I could use my F over here. Oops. And I am left-handed after all. Okay, so here's E minor. I'll go back to right-hand lead since most of you are righties. And F major. And I would put it there if I had it. Otherwise, I would start that one left-handed. Okay, G major. Why not? Okay, E minor at this high E. Sorry, A minor starting on the E. And the 5 of 5, D. If you want to, you can add. And the other thing I would just add to this list would be trying those in all, like the full range that you possibly can do it. So I didn't do that for this because I know most of you have dulcimers around the size of a 17/16 8. Some of you have a 15/14, so I didn't want to get too extreme with the ranges. But for instance, I can do C starting with my low E down here. So get familiar with those in every range, and that way when you come to your song, those chords are right under your hands. Here's an E minor. Here's your 2 chord. have fun with these. Don't worry about the speed. The speed will come on its own. Go for accuracy and technique, so you're not using your elbows, but the motion is coming from your wrists and fingers. All right, I'll see you next month. Thank you, thank you.